Okay, now we have offensive coordinator Chad Scott. Questions for Coach Scott?
So, Chad, I guess the question is if Nico has to go this week, differences, I mean, they both have similar skills but not identical. How different is the offense from Garrett to Nico?
It shouldn't be any different. When he came in against Oklahoma State unexpectedly, we didn't change anything. We just kept it the same. So he'll be in a good mental frame this week, and we shouldn't change the game plan at all.
But even though you don't change the game plan, there's got to be a Garrett plan and a Nico plan, right? Because it's just right-handed, left-handed, all of that.
Yeah, and no, in that regard, in that regard, as far as different rollouts and whatnot. But as far as like the concepts called and limiting what we want to call, what we're capable of calling, based on personnel, we won't limit that in that capacity. But as far as right hand, left hand, we'll do some things differently.
It runs the quarterback power pretty well. Is that? I'm sorry, Nico runs the quarterback power pretty well. Is that something that he does well that you can utilize?
He has a good feel for it, and that's something that we like to use. And short yard situation, typically when you run a quarterback, you get everybody blocked. So he just got to do a great job seeing it right, and it should be open.
Schematically different, right? You're going back to the four-man fronts to some of the unique things that you faced the last 2 weeks,
right.
or although they do multiple things, I guess, a little bit.
Yeah. Similar, schematically, about the same than what we saw. That's similar to what we saw the first couple of weeks of the season. Last 2 weeks, we faced a little bit more odd fronts. This week we'll face some odd, but it'd be more similar to what we faced the first couple of weeks of the season with a lot more even front balance looks.
It's one thing when you have to switch to another quarterback within a game. Like Neil was saying, it's like, well, we won't know until probably later though this week. Definitely who's going to be the guy. What does that do for you guys preparation-wise in terms of not just the coaches but the players if there is a level of uncertainty during the week as to who might be the starter on Saturday?
Yeah, well, if like I say, like Coach said, it depends on how late we go. But as far as the preparation, both those guys typically go. Obviously Garrett in the past got more reps when he was healthy. But they've always gone, so we do a great job of splitting reps. So in case something like this did happen, which is why when he came in the game, Oklahoma State really wasn't no drop off on the chemistry, in terms of timing and throwing and perception and whatnot.
What do you think caused there maybe being a drop off in the Kansas State game, though? Was it just the fact that the week wasn't as great, Neil kind of alluded to going into the game, or
for Nico?
Yeah.
Absolutely. He did not have a great week. It was just a mental deal. He didn't have a good week. 100% agree. And he understands that. He knows that. So today he was out to a good start, good mind frame, good energy. So
it was bad timing to have to come in.
Bad time, no doubt, in the show.
I can't remember the instance last year, but Garrett, I think there was a game that you weren't sure if Garrett was going to go, but then later in the week he was good to go, and he ended up playing pretty well. Mm-hmm. He's got that ability, right, to be able to absorb things enough or know enough about what's going on that if you have to delay it, wait it, and laying it out, I guess.
Yeah, but the one he got now is, so it's more of a health thing with him now. Last year was, a different injury last year than what he's dealing with right now. So
the point is though that he can absorb what you're doing if you have to wait.
Oh
longer.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
But he was beat up in other ways too, because after the one tackle in the first quarter came out, had to have both ankles taped. I mean, he came out. He really had a lot of in-game repair work, but still was able to come back in.
Right. Like I said, the kid's resilient. He's tough. He can do it. We were probably a little more worried last year when that happened, as far as Nico being ready a year ago than we are now. Like a year later, Nico, despite outside last week, he's a much more mature player. Understands the offense. Has grown tremendously, and in his ability to play the position at an effective level. So we feel good about both of them.
It just seemed clear that Kansas State was going to pound Garrett. That was kind of their game plan. It just pounding. How do you protect? I'm moving forward. How can you protect him? Is there anything you can do to protect him a little bit when teams try to do that?
We got to be able to, we got to be able to throw the ball downfield. You got to be able to throw the ball downfield. They did a great job in coming in and stacking the box, and so we got to be able to throw the ball downfield. We got to be able to do that. We got to be able to throw it. We got to be able to catch it. But we got to be able to throw the ball downfield.
Chad, you come to the table during the week with your ideas for things you can do offensively, right? A lot of it, especially for the quarterback, is relative to what he can do.
Right.
Do you have things with Nico that might be additional to the offense or strengths of his that might not be what you all do right now? Like there might be things that you can add because the quarterback can do this.
Yeah, we can. Nico he has a great feel for the RPO game, the run pass option game. Tremendous feel for it. He did it in high school at an elite level. And it's something too, got to answer your question a few seconds ago. We could do a great job of keeping hits off of him with that free hitter, that extra hitter that dips down in the box that we can't account for. With his ability to be able to throw RPOs off that guy at an effective level, at an efficient level, helps us out a lot. And those are some of the ideas that we bring to the table for him because he sees it really well, feels great about it, very confident in it, and can execute it at a high level for us, which is what one of the touchdown passes was in the Oklahoma State game. It was RPO. Yeah, in fact, it was RPO again the other night. He threw it. His last touchdown, it was RPO. So he sees those really well. So those are the things that will help us out offensively that can account for that free hit that we can't block.
Does Garrett not get a lot of RPO calls? Because maybe that's not his best thing he does.
Yeah, he doesn't see it as well as Nico does.
Talked about him, so he'd move up to 2 if Nico has to go. What do you see out of Ryder? What are his strengths?
Well, we don't see a lot out of him right now. He just does the Monday Night Football right now, so it's hard to see anything out of him right now. Obviously, he doesn't have a lot of in-game experience or whatnot. So, but I don't know a lot about outside of what he does in Monday Night Football.
What do you do rep-wise? 75-25? Is that usually how it works when you have your starter, your backup, or is it a little bit more than that? Or
Nah, we go about 85-15.
85
Yeah,
15.
yeah.
So he's going to get some, but
He'll get some, but not a lot of.
right.
Yeah.
Brown kind of mentioned that he's confident Gene White's going to be able to play this week out of all the injured guys.
Yeah.
What would the running game look like without him overall, and how can you evaluate the running game?
Without him, a lot of C.J. Donaldson.
Right. I mean,
Major.
and then
Major.
how is Jaheim for you after that game? Like, where's his headspace?
So right now?
physically? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's a little banged up right now. He feels a little better than he did the other day. I think it was after like 20 plays or so he got knocked out. But he's feeling better now. He's still out of whack a little bit, but he feels a little better right now.
And just as a follow-up off of kind of what John was alluding to there with a lot of C.J. Donaldson, there's been conversation the last couple of years that he's a great back, but there's kind of a max of how many carries Brown would want to give him in a game.
Yeah.
What do you think he could handle if it has to be?
As many as we can get him.
Okay.
I really do. As many as we can get him. Because he's a kid, particularly now that the weather's changed, he done fatigue as fast. And he can handle it. He gets stronger as the game goes along, does a phenomenal job staying in the game. And he's done a great job with his body and his conditioning. And so I think he can handle as many as we can, 20-plus carry. But if Jaheim can't go, it's going to be a lot of him.
Points of emphasis this week. What are you hammering home to your guys?
For us, we got to do a great job. We got to take care of the ball. That's first and foremost. We got to take care of the football. The guys we got to execute at a high level and just doing our job, just winning. We got to win at one-on-one battles. Got to win the one-on-one battles. We got to create expansion in the run game up front. We got to win the one-on-one battles at every position. O-line to D-line, receiver to DB, running back to linebacker and safety. And we just got to execute, do our job.
What's the pecking order now behind CJ and Jaheim? If you had to have a third or fourth, who would that be?
Jalen Anderson be the next guy that goes in. And then Dior Hubbard. Dior Hubbard's coming along really well as well. He's done a phenomenal job. And all these Monday Night Footballs we have, he does a phenomenal job. Had an opportunity to put him in real late against Oklahoma State, get him a taste of it. Did a good job recognition-wise the other day in the game and Saturday. Now, he didn't – his technique wasn't so great, but it was a phenomenal job just recognizing the blitz. So those two would be the next two guys.
We were talking to Jim Quay a little bit earlier. He had mentioned that he's kind of the pregame talk guy, the pregame speaker. Well, yeah, a lot of people would love to talk, but it's, it's another thing when they listen. What is it about Jaquay that has everybody listening?
His consistency in the way he works, the way he carries himself, the way he goes about his business. I mean, he's a guy that's, he's here early, stays late, he does extra all the time, he goes over and beyond all the time. He's consistent in how his actions and his mood, his attitude is always the same every day. You know exactly what you're going to get out of him, and he does a phenomenal job, goes over and beyond it, and his ability to do all that stuff.
Jordan, about his guys, I'll ask you, through 7 games, who's been the most consistent player, in your opinion, on offense?
Trayon Davis.
Trayon Davis.
Without doubt. Trayon Davis.
What have you seen from him that makes you say that?
He's almost about 100% on his execution and his assignments. He rarely misses blocks. He's always, and not just that he's in position, he's moving guys. He's getting guys to the ground. He's finishing at an elite level. And because of the little things he does, I mean, he's even put himself in position to catch a ball, and I think he has 2 explosive plays here in the last couple of weeks. And he's typically not a guy you look for to, do anything explosive outside of blocking somebody. But, I mean, he's like the lunch pail guy. I mean, he's tough, he's physical, he's where he's supposed to be all the time, and his guy's never making a play. He's been the most consistent by far.
Cole Taylor's had 9 catches the past 2 weeks. Is that just byproduct him getting open, or is there something you all are
Cole's doing a great job of winning versus man coverage. We're getting a lot of it because they're stacking the box to stop the run, and so we're getting a lot of man coverage. He does a great job making contested catches as well with his length, but and he's doing a great job breaking tackles. But he's winning one-on-one. So if we could do a better job of throwing the ball downfield, we'll get a lot more soft coverage, and he'll win a lot more. But he's doing a great job of winning one-on-ones.
One question on the 4th down play at the end of the first half. The design on that, is the back supposed to stay in the flat, or do you want him getting upfield in the pattern?
The very last play, right?
Yes, yeah.
He flushed it out. He needed to get all the way to the back of the end zone. He is the first read, but he was covered right away. And he got in the end zone. He needs to get to the back of the end zone so that ball would come to Cole Taylor, who was wide open. So CJ was the first read, and he got covered. And he got in the end zone. He should have went to the back of the end zone and completely cleared the way for Cole. And then Cole was the second option.
There's been a lot of conversation about what players, leaders, et cetera, have said to kind of rally the troops. Mm-hmm. It's part of kind of, your strong suit in speeches and words of encouragement and things like that. So have you said anything to the group as a whole to just maybe the offense?
Yeah, we got phenomenal competitive carry on this offense. So we talked about, with all those guys, just we ain't gonna accept mediocrity. Ain't nobody gonna throw in the towel. We're gonna come to work, and players, coaches alike, gonna commit ourselves and go over and beyond to prepare better, practice better, game plan better, play better, and be better when we need to be. And that's on every play, and that's across the board. And the guys understand it was a phenomenal today in terms of the focus, attitude, and the energy, and the guys get it. So, again, we got phenomenal competitive carry on the offense. So, not saying not across on defense as well, but just inside I'm in control of. And so the guys going to commit themselves to, preparing better, practicing better, playing better, and us as a staff doing a better job of game planning to help those guys be in position to go be successful.
Okay, anything else for Coach? All right.
Thank you all. Thank you all.